It is time for your weekly breakdown on the latest in entertainment, sports, pop culture, and all things Milwaukee. This is Nothing But the Truth with Melanie Ricks. Now streaming on 1017 The Truth YouTube with the witty banter, latest trends on social media, and hottest celebrity topics, here is Melanie Ricks.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to Nothing But the Truth with Melanie Ricks. We're coming at you in a slightly different format today because life has been lifing as of late. And so, you know what? We made it work. And speaking of making it work, DJ extraordinaire at the Jason Smith on Instagram, but Jason Smith in real life, he always finds a way to make it work. Hey, Jay, how you doing?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic, Mel. I'm absolutely happy the fact that we here is Monday. You know, like you saying, life was lifing. We didn't have some crazy weather, some crazy stuff going on. But listen, we here, a wonderful 2025.
Yes. You know, and I appreciate you finding the positive in it because, listen, when lifes and it lifes in a way that you weren't expecting, it can be a little tough to find the positive. But that's exactly what we did. So with that being said, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. I feel like we have so much to catch up on, Jay. It's been a minute since you and I have been able to really connect. And one of the things that stopped us was a snowstorm in New Orleans, Louisiana. I mean, first off, no, it does not snow there. So they were not ready for that. Okay. I can tell you that much. And a big part of why we have not been able to connect is because of the snow that was unprecedented in New Orleans. So the Bucks were supposed to play the Pelicans last week, Wednesday, which, by the way, is funny. Jay, you started the show saying, you know, it's Monday, let's get it. I'm like, oh, wait, it is Monday. I forgot what day it was. That's where we're at. That's where we're at in life right now. But no, so we were supposed to play the New Orleans Pelicans last week, Wednesday, and they knew that there was a snowstorm coming. Now, you got to keep in mind, it's the dirty. This is the South. They don't have what we have as far as like us up in Milwaukee, us up in Wisconsin, the Midwest, etc. They don't have snowplows. They don't have salt. They don't even have shovels or mittens for that matter, okay? Or boots. I didn't see a single person from there wearing boots. They don't own.
So they wasn't prepped for this.
They were not prepped for this, okay? It was like, we just gonna figure it out, just like you and I are. And so, yeah, they weren't prepped for it. And they knew that a snowstorm was coming. So we were supposed to fly out on Tuesday. We always fly out the day before the game. And they decided to fly us out Monday instead because the storm was coming on Tuesday. The game was supposed to be played on Wednesday. Well, we flew out Monday night. No storm in sight. It was very cold when we landed, about 40 degrees. But we came from negative like 10. So 40 felt warm to us, but it was cold in regards of like in Louisiana, 40 is cold. So
for us here though, 40 felt like, man, that's dang near springtime.
Man, what, Jason? Dog, it's so funny because we landed, all of us wearing parkas and scarves. We took them all off. People in New Orleans are like this, and we're like taking off layers because we're like, it's warm out here.
It feel good.
That's funny. And man, it felt real good. But yeah, so like to Jason's point, for us, 40, that's warm. That's literally Bradford beach weather, okay? But for them, that's you need to stay inside and sit in front of a cozy fire weather. So we get in Monday night. The snowstorm comes overnight, and it continues all throughout the day on Tuesday. So instead of getting, I want to say it was like 2 to 4 inches that they predicted, they got 10 inches. It literally was a historical snowstorm, okay? We brought snow from Milwaukee, Chicago. We brought snow from Boston, from Philly. Like all the snow came with us.
And dumped it there, dumped it over there.
Man, what? We didn't know where else to put it. So we were like, let's just drop it off in Louisiana. In poor Louisiana, they weren't ready. They were not ready, Jason. We were extremely snowed in. And not only was it the snow of it all, it was the ice of it all. Like even trying to walk on the sidewalks, there was so much black ice, so much slick. And they don't have salt. They don't have snow removal tools. So I think like being outside of my hotel, the limited amount that I could walk because of just how icy it was, I maybe saw a handful of shovels. And even those shovels, I'm like, where you get them shovels from? Because like y'all, like literally, did you have them shipped in? And everything everything was shut down. Jason, there was nothing open in Louisiana when we were there. Nothing. Things finally started to open the day that we left, which was Thursday, by the way. But we were there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, left Thursday. Nothing open Tuesday, nothing open Wednesday. So we were pretty much snowed in, and we got to go outside some, like, whenever we wanted to. That was the one thing I thought was sweet. Like, the people from there, they were like making snow angels and catching snow on their tongue, like doing the stuff that we did in kindergarten, except they're like, they're experiencing it for the first time as adults. So they were excited.
That's
so
that's a different. Yeah, that's different. That's different.
Right. But it was cute. But I was also like, I'm glad y'all are excited about this because it's not looking great. So yeah, the game ended up getting postponed, unfortunately, because again, the snow that ended up coming was way more than they expected, and it was cold on top of that. So the snow couldn't melt in time for us to get to the game. But I'm talking like even the people who worked at the hotel we were staying in, they had to stay overnight, and they didn't expect to. Like, it was like we were all snowed in together, okay? It was giving The Shining, but no one died. So
Ooh,
God is good.
that seemed a little scary. I'm not gonna lie. You trapped in New Orleans with 10 inches of snow. They not prepared for it at all. I'll be thinking, how am I getting out of here?
I thought I was gonna see two twins saying "Red Red."
That's what I'm saying.
I just knew it. I knew I was gonna turn the corner and see somebody "Red Red." I'm just so happy I didn't. But
Man,
it felt like that though. But no, by the grace of God, we made it out finally on Thursday. We literally flew out of New Orleans at 3 p.m. that day, and our time kept getting switched. Like, it was like, we're going to leave at 12. Now we're going to leave at 1. Then we're going to leave at 2. Nope, we're going to go leave at 1 again. Like, it was crazy. But we finally got out, landed in Milwaukee at like 5:05. And then I didn't have to work the game because that game was actually going to be played on TNT, the game against Miami. So I didn't go to the arena. I was one of the fortunate ones that got to go home and get ready for the next trip right away. Whereas, most of the players, all the players, coaches, a lot of the basketball ops staff, they went straight to the arena, played a game, won by like 30, by the way, after not practicing, barely touching a basketball, barely doing anything that was physical besides what they could do in the gym because there was no court. There was no access to anything in New Orleans. They came, hit a casual 30-piece, and left the next day for our trip that we're currently on. So now, Jason, fast forward. Well, first we stopped in LA, played the Clippers. Now we're here in Salt Lake City, Utah. We got Portland tomorrow, and then we got San Antonio to close it out. So it's been crazy. It's been crazy.
That seemed like a lot.
It's been a lot.
That seems like a lot, man. I don't know. I'm trying to see how you keeping your mental together through all of that, because, man.
Well, you know what? It's all about perspective. Something that Yanni said when he was talking to reporters at home on Thursday after they beat Miami he was like, these are not tough conditions for me. He was like, I've been through a lot worse, and obviously we know that, most of us, we watched this movie, but everyone's perspective, everyone's hardship, or like the way that they experience adversity, it's going to be different, right? No matter what, like, you can put 5 people in the exact same scenario, but everyone's perspective is different. You got 5 different point of views in there. But what's important is being able to share your point of view with others and try to offer a different perspective. And I personally, I did have to really dig deep. I'm not going to lie to you, because for me, I love and adore, I'm obsessed with my dogs. I knew that we were going on this week-long West Coast trip. So it was very difficult for me mentally. You talked about keeping my mentals together. It was very hard for me knowing we were stuck in New Orleans, not knowing when we were going to get out, and knowing that we got a week-long trip after this. So when we landed on Thursday, all I could think to myself was, it is 5 p.m. and we are leaving tomorrow morning to be gone for a week, knowing that we just got back from being gone for 4 unexpected days. We weren't supposed to be gone that long. So that was very difficult. That was by far the most difficult part for me. But it's about perspective. At least we're somewhere warm. We're somewhere safe. We had all the accommodations that we could have asked for. Like, I think considering the situation, we were in the best possible place we could have been. It was a 5-star hotel, which that is such a blessing. And that's a blessing that I get to travel with the NBA, and they can afford to put us in such beautiful lodging. And then again, seeing people experience snow for the first time, I thought that was so sweet and so wonderful to be able to see. I hated that Louisiana was hit with something that it wasn't prepared for, but the way they handled it, I thought was beautiful. And I just think that everybody was really professional about it. The players, no one complained, and it's so easy to do that. But you know what, Jason? You got to look at life as, first off, a blessing to wake up every morning. But then second, when it does bring those challenges your way. Instead of looking at it like it's happening to me, maybe it's a challenge that's happening for you. Maybe it's something that's, supposed to test your patience or your will, or, just your yeah, I guess your mindset, your mentality on things. And so I really did have to make a conscious shift of my mindset, going from feeling sorry for myself, feeling sorry for my dogs that I was away from them, and more so going, okay, what good can come out of this? Like, what can we do instead to make this a positive? And I'm fortunate enough that I have an amazing dog sitter who was able to take care of them. So they were able to still be at home, be comfortable, and, have someone taking care of them. And I got to see people, experience snowfall and enjoy that and check something off their bucket list. Like people at the hotel were telling me, they're like, I've never seen snow. I didn't think I would ever see snow in my lifetime. Like, this is actually really cool for us. So I don't know. I almost look at it like that. And then I also just feel like it brought us closer, as in the basketball operations, like all of that just brought us closer in the sense of you bond over an event like that. You bond over something that happens to you as a group, especially something that's uncomfortable and something that's unprecedented and unexpected. So I think that a lot of really great things came out of it. And it really showed, no matter the circumstance, we're able to fight through, battle through, and make the most of it. I think that's exactly what we did. I know that was a really long story, but
No,
I still think
it's
that
good.
that perspective piece, it's so key. I'm curious, Jason, because you always have the right perspective on life. You're so positive, and I really appreciate that. But has there ever been a time for you where you felt like you needed to make that conscious switch and be like, okay, right now I'm almost looking at it as the glass is half empty. How do I turn this into the glass being half full?
Oh yeah, without question, Mel. See, especially what you were talking about earlier, how perspective is everything. How we can all literally be looking at the same situation but seeing two completely different things. Because at the end of the day, perception is reality if you make it. How you view stuff, that's how it is. So how I view challenges, I just view challenges as basically building blocks of your character type deal. Because it's like all of the whatever it is you're going through, all those little trials and all those tests, all those tribulations, all of that, in the end, it's going to add up. You feel what I'm saying? And the end is all go equate. In the end, it's all go make sense. When you end the challenge and going through it, sometimes it don't make sense and you feel lost because you're like, man, what is going? Like you were saying, why me? Why me? That's what I had the problem of. Especially just as a kid growing up, I was raised by my great aunt. I wasn't really even raised by my parents. So in my head, growing up, it wasn't until I got around 16, 17 where I started talking to one of my best friends who kind of helped shift my mind. I would always think, why me? Man, why am I going through this? I see my friends, they got their parents, they got all of this. And I'm just like, man, especially as a little kid, you looking, especially by my aunt, my aunt was married. But my uncle, he not necessarily a father figure to me or anything like that. So I really had to adjust my mindset and stop looking at oh man, why did God put me through this? And really wait, why did God put me through this? Then it clicked. I need that in order to be the best person I need to be. I need that in order to improve my mind and have my mind in its peak form, because you have to go through that to build up who you are. And then on top of that, honestly, I look at my future kids. I say, oh, okay, maybe I actually do need to learn all this, go through all this, feel all this, so then I can be the best parent that I can be for that kid. I may not be the chosen one, but you never know. I might birth the chosen one. So I don't know. I'm always just forward thinking, always looking at the bigger picture, the brighter, the glass half full rather than the glass half empty. Because when you stuck on saying why me, you go stay stuck in that time period. Forget that. Look, how can I use this to become the best person that I can possibly be?
No, absolutely, Jason. I love that. That's such a wise perspective from you. And not too many people are able to do that, even though it may seem like second nature, and it may seem like it almost to me is borderline common sense to try to view the positive, but not everyone is able to do that because, maybe it just doesn't come natural, or perhaps they're in a situation where it just feels like this is bottom and there's nowhere else to go. And it's like, there's always somewhere higher to go. And there's always a way to pull yourself out of that. But I definitely think that when you try to do it on your own, that's where it becomes very difficult. And I think that it's important, again, to offer your perspective to others and to not only lend a helping hand when needed, but ask for a helping hand. And I think that's something that a lot of us really struggle with. Like, it's kind of difficult if you're having a bad day to say to somebody, I'm having a bad day. I'm struggling today. Like it is. I think it is. And I think for a lot of people it is because I tend to think, well, first off, I believe strongly in the law of attraction. And I have a story that I want to share with y'all, but I'm going to share it a little bit later. Something happened when we were in LA, and it was definitely a law of attraction. And I'm curious if Jason and Co, you guys with the Co, if y'all will believe me, but I'll tell the story
We gonna
later.
see, man. I don't know. We gonna see.
Yeah, I mean, I may or may not be clairvoyant, but anyway. But I do believe in the law of attraction, and I do believe in energy. And I was looking for, I follow all these different pages that have all these like really great quotes. And one that I saw the other day was, people who feel good about themselves make other people feel good too. It turns out the opposite is also true. Remember that. And I think that that's extremely, extremely true. I think that, misery loves company, unfortunately, but you don't have to be miserable, okay? It's possible for you to break out of that misery. And like Jason said, try to find the why in it as opposed to just staying in it. Just like settling for being sad or being depressed. Easier said than done. Yes, I know that. However, it is possible, because I used to be the type of person where, like, let's say I'm running late, Jason, and the cars in front of me are going snail's pace. I'm hitting every red light. Like, everything that could go wrong is going wrong. And I used to literally, this sounds so crazy and so silly now. Literally, I used to think, why do all these people around me hate me? Why do they want me to be late for this? Why, like, what is wrong with me? These cars don't know me.
Not at all.
I'm not kidding. They don't know me. But I literally used to think that way. Now, if I'm running late, what I tell myself is, it's not that person's fault that I'm late. It's not that person's fault. I'm the one here who is to blame. It is my responsibility. So I'm going to make the most. I'm going to try to make up for it, but I'm not going to speed. I'm not going to do anything illegal. I'm not going to ride anybody's tail, because in a sense, you're almost asking for something bad to happen when you do these like bad things and you try to force something that's not supposed to be forced. And I say that because I do believe that if there's a car moving slower in front of you, or if you're hitting certain lights, I do believe that that's God or the universe doing that intentionally.
Exactly. That's where I was about to go with it.
You feel me?
Yeah.
I'm not about to try to speed, because that they could be protecting me from something that I don't see that's on the path to where I need to go. And so I've started learning, and I don't condone being late, of course, but if you are, I have started to realize, okay, I'm running late for a reason, or I'm running on this time for a reason, or, the universe directed me to this path for a reason. So let's own that, and let's get there the best, the quickest, the safest way that we can, but don't force something, because there are always forces around you, I believe, that are looking out for you and are trying to protect you from something potentially really tragic. And so I know that's easier said than done, especially when you're running late, but don't force something, y'all, because what's meant to be is going to be, yes. However, I do believe in free will. I do believe that we can attract negative things by putting negative energy out there, i.e., oh my God, I'm running late. Man, F you, why are you going so slow? And then next thing you know, somebody is taking that to heart, and you know how people are when it comes to road rage. We don't play about road rage. We've heard way too many crazy stories, and I'm sorry. There is no place that is worth your life. There's no person that is worth your life. And you just never know what kind of day the car next to you is having. And you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you have to find out the hard way. Because
I know
all bets are off.
Dude, Mel, what you are saying, because like that's where first thing I was thinking about when you were talking about being late, because that example was actually in a book. I believe it's called The Four Agreements. I don't know if it's that one, but one of these books, it talked about how that's one thing that people suck at, road rage and being in traffic and just getting frustrated. But what if that all was supposed to happen? What if you were supposed to be 15 minutes late? What if that car going in front of you was going slow? Because if it didn't go, say the car wasn't there and you was going a normal speed limit, say something tragic happened because that car wasn't there. I take that and I would say apply that to all areas of life and understand everything happens the way it's supposed to happen and live in that space. So then, of course, the initial reaction to it, you go probably feel a little frustrated or irritated to whatever. However, that's when you got to take that second. Michael Jackson said, always think twice. You got to take that second thought and be like, well, actually, this is kind of supposed to happen, because if this didn't happen, who's to know where I will be in the future? For example, where I'm at right now in life, if every single thing did not happen the way it happened in my life, where would I be right now? But some people probably think, oh, well, maybe you would be better or a higher place. And how do you know? You don't know. Right. What if I'm not even here right now?
Right.
So it's like you got to appreciate the moment. And that's what comes with living in the moment, understanding the moment, and appreciating the here and the now, and not chasing the future or living in the past.
No, I could not agree more. I want to read one more thing. It goes with what you just said. It says, embrace the wait and believe in yourself. Not everything has to come quick and easy. Some of the best things are only worthy because of the process and the way it unfolds. Give things time to grow. Give yourself time to grow. Be present in the journey. I know that something as minuscule as being behind a slow moving car is it may not be the greatest example in this regard, but I do believe that it still applies to that, because it's like, be patient. Think about how, let's say that you are somebody who used to have road rage, or somebody who did, used to get anxious because you can't control what's happening in front of you, i.e. the cars that are moving slower, the lights that keep turning red. Think about the patience. Think about the way that you can almost like breathe in, breathe out that negativity, and instead find yourself a level head. Find yourself a way to think, okay, this is happening right now. I'm only so much in control. I'm going to control what I can. And the journey is what's going to help me become a better person, because once I get to my final destination, I'm going to realize, wow, I was able to get here. I was able to calm myself down. I was able to not lose my mind. I was able to not cuss somebody out. Like, those little things are everything when it comes to personal growth and development. And I think that all of us have experienced some bit of, road rage, if you will. And road rage is a super aggressive way to put it, but
that's what it is at the end of the day.
That's what it is. All of us have gotten mad at somebody on the road.
I'd be mad as a mug behind that steering wheel. Like, go!
Man, what?
Screaming.
Man, what?
Like, what are y'all doing? Why y'all going so slow?
And you know what, Jason? I'm gonna keep it a buck. I still be saying that.
Yeah, I still do
too. Okay. And sometimes you just need to
you gotta get it out. Come on, you can't have that pent up, because I say pent up. Now you carrying that throughout everything throughout the day. Now you just mad. Not everything making you mad. Every little thing irritating
you.
You gotta get it out.
Exactly. So sometimes you gotta get it out. Yeah. But when it comes to becoming the best version of yourself, I don't know anybody, Jason, who is born the best version of themselves and that's it. They can just ride that way. No.
You gotta become it.
It's all about obstacles. It's about adversity. It's about how you experience life, how you get through life, and how you face the challenges that are presented in front of you. I'd love to know in the comments if any of y'all can think of a scenario where there was something presented in front of you that seemed like it was supposed to be, maybe it was something that was a little bit more negative, let's just say. Something that was meant to block a blessing, but instead you found your way around it, over it, through it, however you want to put it. Let us know in the comments, when was there a time when you found yourself facing adversity and it made you a better person? Because like Jason said, we are all where we currently are standing, wherever we're supposed to be. I do believe that you are where you are meant to be, 100%. I don't believe that what's meant for you will pass you by. And I look for signs all the time that I'm where I'm supposed to be. And those signs slap me in the face even when I don't want them to. I'm gonna tell you the elevator story.
Here we go.
I was running late. That's how the story starts. No, but the reason why though was because we started this trip in LA. We were staying out in Santa Monica. It was beautiful where we stayed. The pier was right there. It was such a blessing. I felt so fortunate to be there. And we ended up staying overnight because we played on Saturday and then we traveled to Utah yesterday. So we stayed overnight. and we were supposed to be leaving around, let's say like it was like 2:00, and our luggage had to go downstairs before we got on the bus. So the bus was leaving at, let's say 2, and the luggage had to be downstairs by 1:30. So I take my luggage down there, no problem. And then I go back upstairs, and I kind of was just like lollygagging, just like getting the rest of my little stuff together. And then I realized, I'm like, wait, I didn't have that much time. I need to hurry up and go. So I like hurried up and got my stuff, ran out the door. So it actually, I remember the bus was actually at 1:45 because I remember looking at my watch. I was on the 5th floor. And I had to get downstairs to the beach level. So I had to go down 7 stories. So I was on my way to the elevator, looked at my watch. It said 1:41. And the bus was going to leave at 1:45. Yes, it's not great. Like I said, I was ready, but like, I just wasn't thinking. I'm like just in my room, like, do. But I realized, okay, we got to go. So I'm zipping. And I see the elevator, right? Looked at my watch, it said 1:41. And I said to myself, please let this elevator get here when I get like right away. Please let it get here right away, please. I got to the elevator. It opened up. I didn't touch it. It was going down. And there was not a single person in that elevator, Jason.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
I didn't even touch the button, Jason. I promise you. I ran and I stood right. I got here. I was about to, and then it opened up.
I'll be a little scared. That feel like a movie, man. I feel like a movie for real.
Listen, Jason, I don't write the script, but that's what happened.
That's crazy.
It was like a movie. But you know what? That's not the first time that has happened to me. Benjamin, I shared a story with him like a year or two ago. Something very similar happened to me where I was asking the elevator, like, please come on. And it was there when I got there. And what's really strange is I genuinely think I manifested it.
Yeah.
Because there was no one. And let me tell you one other quick side story. Right before this happened, when I was, so when I was going downstairs originally to go take my luggage, I was thinking to myself, oh, I don't want to, how do I put this? There was a person that I needed to talk to, but I was like, oh, I don't want to see them right now because we need to have this conversation later. So I was like, I just don't want to see this person. We'll talk about it later. Because it was just like a thing that I wanted to discuss, but I was in such a rush. I'm like, can't talk about it right now. Didn't see the person on the way downstairs. So I get back in the elevator to go up to grab the rest of my stuff. And this is, again, before the elevator magically opened for me. And there was a hotel worker who also got in the elevator with me. So I told him, floor 6, please. He pressed 5 first on accident and then 6. And then he pressed the floor that he was going to, which was like 2 or something. So he gets out on floor 2. It goes up to floor 5. And guess who's standing outside the elevator?
That is crazy.
Jason.
That's crazy.
That individual. And I was like, oh, this elevator is going up. They're like, okay, I'll wait for the next one because I'm going down. And then 25-ish minutes later, I had that incident with the elevator. So I literally felt like I attracted those things with my mind. It was very, very eerie. Now, you could go 2 ways with this, at least in my opinion, then I want to hear yours. You can say, yes, it was a law of attraction. It was definitely that. And or it was the universe / me recognizing that I am currently on the right path, i.e., I didn't want to run into that person, and I had a feeling I would. That's why I said it to myself. I was like, I just know I'm going to see this person. I know we need to have this conversation. Don't want to talk about it right now. I hope I don't. And then I saw that person. And then as I was going to the elevator, 20-ish minutes later, I'm like, oh, elevator, please open up. I need you to open up. It opened. So again, I think you could look at it as the law of attraction, but you could also look at it as these are signs. And again, I look for the signs that I am on the right path and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing in those moments. I'm curious. Ooh. What do you think about that?
That's a lot, man. Oh my goodness.
I know
it's absolutely crazy. So no, I do think, because I think on your part, when you're talking about looking for the signs, it's the awareness that you have of the stuff happening. A lot of times, good stuff or whatever, people are manifesting stuff, people are experiencing the law of attraction, but they lack the awareness to realize, oh snap, this is literally what I was just asking for. This is literally what I wanted. And law of attraction can be tricky, and you just outlined the trickiness of it. Because yes, law of attraction, it will bring everything that you put your mind to However, everything that you resist, everything that you are attempting to stop from happening, that's going to happen as well. That's why a big key for law of attraction is to let go and understand this is a ride. This is a journey. This is the journey that God, yes, I mean, I'm steering it, but it's through God at the end of the day. It's through the universe at the end of the day. So that's the trickiness of law of attraction. You got to remember, even the stuff that you resist, even the stuff that you just really don't want to happen, that you just constantly thinking about, oh, I wish this don't happen. I hope this don't happen. 9 times out of 10 now it's about to happen because you don't want it to happen so badly. You got to let go and let life work. Let life, let the universe do its job. But no, Mel, I can see where you're coming from. I think it's your awareness, though. The fact that you were aware of the signs, that's the beauty of it.
No, and I appreciate you saying that, Jason, because first off, I believe that all of us have, I don't want to say awareness because I agree with you. Not everyone does, but I think there's like a certain intuition or just we all have this deeper like connection to the spiritual realm than we realize. And I think, unfortunately, as humankind progresses, the further away we get from that. And I think that we're not taught that we have those gifts. But I do think all of us have a gift of some sort. And we do have the ability to influence things just with how we think, just with our energy that we put out into the universe. And I agree completely with Jason. Like, sure, you are saying to yourself you don't want something to happen, but that's like, calling for Bloody Mary in a mirror. You say that enough, it's going to be right there.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen. That's just facts. That's the law of attraction for you. And so you do have to be extremely mindful about what you feed your mind, because what you're feeding your mind, that's like what you feed your body. And if all you feed your body is junk, your mind, and all you feed your mind is junk, then guess what? You're going to be living in filth. You're going to have filth around you. You're going to have toxicity around you. It's going to be all negativity and birds of a feather, by the way. So if you're trying to be a good person and you're trying to attract good, but you've got negative people around you, like I said, birds of a feather, their negativity is going to eventually enter your space if it hasn't already, but it probably has. And I know it's hard to cut people off because, they're day ones, or they were loyal in this situation, or they're part of this, or you trauma bonded. Cut that off. Cut it off. If your gut has ever told you that you need to stop doing something or you need to stop interacting with a person, listen to your gut. I don't know about you. I think, Jason, that sometimes that gut feeling, that voice, that inner voice that you hear, I actually think it's a higher version of ourselves. Like sometimes I think it comes from God. Sometimes I think it comes from my spirit guides. But oftentimes it feels like it's my voice and I can't explain it. But it's almost like it's either a future me or a different me. And I think that that's why a lot of people used to be like committed to psych wards, because they felt that and they would express that. But like
everybody looking at them like they crazy. Yeah,
exactly. But it's like, we're not crazy. Like this is a real thing. And one last thing I'll say, just because it's in the same realm, there was something, by the way, about that hotel. I don't know, something about that area really got me. But tell me why, Jason. The night that we landed, afternoon that we landed, we got there early afternoon and it was a beautiful day. Like I said, the Santa Monica Pier was right by our hotel. So I walked down there. Do you know, when we were in New Orleans, I was really disappointed because I wanted to go see a tarot card reader because, New Orleans, they got all that. They got
everything.
Everything. And for the record, y'all, I don't dabble in anything negative. Like I don't do that. But I just wanted to go get my tarot cards read, whatever. Couldn't do that though because of the snowstorm and everybody was closed. So we get to LA and like I said, Santa Monica Pier. I walked down there. Do you know I started walking one direction and my literally my gut was like, stop, don't keep walking this way. Go down that path instead. And I had no idea why, but I was like, okay. Like I felt it. Like it literally stopped me in my tracks. So I stopped walking and I instead took a left and went down the path, like closer to the beach. 20 feet later, stumbled upon a tarot card reader.
Oh my goodness. This is getting crazy.
Come on.
Isn't
it crazy?
This is
Jason?
getting crazy, Mel.
So
I think that what you are saying right now, you are proving that it works. Listening to yourself, I got a problem of not listening to my gut, especially when it comes to these girls. I be knowing I be knowing I need to leave this girl alone. I be knowing it be telling me, you need to leave that girl alone. You know that girl, but I don't know what it is that keep me going back, man. I don't know.
We know what it is.
Maybe I do know what it is.
Let us know in the comments what it is.
Maybe I do know what it is, but man, that's what I gotta work on. With certain stuff, I'm good at following my gut. When it comes to certain stuff, but when it comes to these females, man, it's hard. It's hard.
I know it is, but Jason, I am here. I was meant to go through that stuff because you needed to trust your gut, and somebody else out there needs to trust their gut. Like I said, I don't know if it was something about Santa Monica because all that stuff literally happened there.
That's
crazy. But like it is crazy, but it's real. And you and I both know there have been so many other instances. And to your point, everybody listening or watching this, they probably have all experienced the law of attraction without knowing it. So just think about how powerful your mind is. Again, going back to The Secret that we talked about a few shows ago, like everything is energy. It is so true. I promise y'all. And the more that you start to understand that, I think the better off we all will be. By the way, before we wrap up, I got to talk to y'all about our friends over at Visit Milwaukee, because I'm trying to make sure that we put some good energy that way, because they're excited to present their 2025 Museum Days taking place January 23rd to February 2nd. So you still got some time to check it out. You can go immerse yourself in great historical and cultural experiences by visiting the Milwaukee Public Museum, America's Black Holocaust Museum, the Villa Terrace Decorative Art Museum, and so many more in our great city. By the way, every single one of those are must-see. If you haven't gone, stunning, beautiful, emotional, give yourself time to go so that you can really experience it, because all of those have so much to see. Personally, I've never been able to see everything in just one day. So try to get in as much as you can, because tickets are as low as $5. For more information, all you have to do is go to visitmilwaukee.org/museum days. That's visitmilwaukee.org/museum days to enjoy the 2025 Museum Days, January 23rd to February 2nd, presented by Visit Milwaukee, handcrafted, homegrown, world class. And I feel like too, when you are doing new experiences, you like, let's just say that somebody who's watching this hasn't been to the Villa Terrace, which is so stunning, the art museum. I have a feeling that when you open yourself up to new experiences, you're opening yourself up to a different mindset, a different way of viewing life, a different perspective, if you will. And it really is so cool, because you never know how trying new things in your city that you've lived in for however long, you never know how that may help you grow as a person. And I think that, especially if you go to, like the Black Holocaust Museum, that's going to take you on a whole different journey. But I think it'll offer the viewpoint of appreciation, and that viewpoint of just what our ancestors, what the pioneers, those who came before us had to go through, had to struggle through in order for us to live the life that we do now. And hopefully it'll give you an even deeper appreciation for your ancestors, like I said. And not only that, but for yourself. Because I think that we're also hard on ourselves. And, Jason, you were saying it's hard for you to trust your gut. Trust your gut. I think the more that you do that, the more empowered you'll feel. The more empowered you'll feel to make decisions that maybe aren't always the easiest, or go after opportunities that you've been afraid to go after. Because the gut, the mind, they are a powerful thing. And I really do think that there's so much power in all of us. You just got to believe in it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Beautiful. I felt like this was kind of like a TED talk, or like a inspirational message I just got done. I don't know. But no, this is absolutely amazing. Listen, I'm keeping my mind. I got the law of attraction. I'm trusting my gut, and we getting it done, Mel.
That's right. Well, I appreciate you so very much, Jason Smith. And I appreciate all of y'all for watching. Thank you so much. Let us know your thoughts on the law of attraction. If you believe in all those energy stories I told, I'm telling you, everything hand to God is completely 100% true. Try to manifest something for yourself. And when you do, come back in the comments and let us know what you were able to manifest, what you were able to attract into your life. Until next time, I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your day. Appreciate you, Jason, so much. Love you all. Thank you so much for tuning in to Nothing But the Truth with Melanie Ricks, and we'll see you soon. Bye, y'all.